So, for any startup, there's this one huge fundamental challenge, right? You've built an amazing product, but now, how do you get customers? Today, we're going to dive into two totally different ways of thinking about that problem. One is kind of like a magnet, and the other, well, it's more like a megaphone. Let's figure out which one makes sense for you. And really, it all comes down to this one question. Are you going to push your message out there to anyone and everyone, just hoping it sticks? Or are you going to pull the right customers in, creating a real, genuine attraction to what you do? I mean, this choice could literally define your startup's future. So let's start with that first idea, the pull strategy. We call it inbound marketing. And the core concept here is, well, it's pretty simple. Be a magnet, not a megaphone. It's all about drawing in the people who are already out there looking for exactly what you offer. What's so fascinating about this is where the focus is. It's 100% on what the customer is searching for. This whole approach, which you might also hear called content marketing, isn't about yelling a sales pitch from the rooftops. No, it's about creating genuinely valuable stuff. Blog posts, videos, helpful guides that people are already trying to find. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, just take a look at this toolkit. You see the common thread here? Every single one of these tactics, from a blog post to a smart SEO strategy, is designed to give value first. It's all about earning someone's trust and attention, not demanding it. And here's the secret sauce. This is why inbound is so powerful. It doesn't fight against how people behave. It works with the way we all naturally research things and make decisions online today. It's a process we call the buyer's journey. Let's just quickly walk through it. So in the awareness stage, let's say a founder, we'll call her Clara, realizes, hey, my startup needs some marketing help. That's the problem. So she moves into the consideration stage and she starts Googling strategies, reading articles, and comparing different approaches. And finally, in the decision stage, she's got a shortlist and is ready to pick one. See, inbound marketing is all about having helpful, useful content waiting for Clara at every single one of those steps. All right, let's flip the coin and talk about the other side, the push strategy or outbound marketing. So if inbound is our magnet, outbound is definitely the megaphone. The goal here couldn't be more different. Just broadcast your message to as many people as possible and hope some of it lands. And you gotta remember, for decades, this was marketing. It's interruptive by its very design. It's meant to push its way into whatever you're doing, your TV show, your music, your commute, whether you asked for it or not. We all know these tactics, right? That cold call that always comes right when you're sitting down for dinner, the billboard you drive past without even really seeing it, that annoying pop-up ad that covers the very article you're trying to read. It's all about interrupting you and grabbing a sliver of your attention. It's a numbers game. But here's the thing, we've all gotten really, really good at tuning these interruptions out. We're just so bombarded with ads that we've developed something called banner blindness. Our brains literally just edit them out. And of course, we're all using ad blockers and paying for premium subscriptions just to get away from it all. Just look at this number for a second, 0.05%. Let that sink in. What on earth could possibly have a success rate that low? And there's your answer. For every 10,000 people who see a standard display ad online, on average, only about 5 of them will actually click on it. I mean, that one statistic tells you pretty much everything you need to know about how the power of push advertising has changed. Okay, so we've met our two contenders. Now it's time to put them right next to each other, head to head. This is where the difference between being a magnet and being a megaphone gets crystal clear. I mean, just look at the contrast. Inbound pulls people in. Outbound pushes a message out. Inbound focuses on the customer's problems. Outbound focuses on the product's features. But for me, the most telling difference is right here, the experience. Inbound marketing becomes part of the information you're looking for, while outbound marketing actively disrupts it. It's the difference between being invited into a conversation versus having someone just shout at you. So, with all that on the table, how in the world do you choose? Because it's not really about which one is better in some abstract sense. It's about what's right for your business, your audience, and your brand. First things first, you have to get real about your ideal customers. Where do they actually hang out online? Are they digging through Google's search results and industry blogs, or are they still reading print magazines? And hey, take a look at your competition. What are they doing? You can learn a lot from their successes and their failures. Second, you've got to think about your timeline. Inbound, it's a long game. You're building an asset, a library of content that will pay you back for years to come, but it's not going to bring in 1,000 customers tomorrow. Outbound, on the other hand, can get you attention fast, but it's like a faucet. The second you stop spending money, the flow of leads just stops. And finally, and this one might be the most important, what kind of brand do you want to be? Yeah, a super aggressive cold calling campaign might get you a few meetings, but what does that say about your company? The goal should be to do marketing that you're actually proud of, marketing that your ideal customer might even thank you for. So, after you ask those tough questions and weigh all the evidence, a really clear verdict starts to emerge, especially for startups trying to find their footing in today's world. And here it is. Inbound marketing isn't just another option on the menu. For a modern startup, it really should be the essential foundation. It's the bedrock that everything else gets built on top of. So why is that? Well, it all comes down to this incredible idea of compounding returns. A single helpful blog post that you write today could keep bringing in new leads for years with basically no extra cost. You're building real relationships, your cost to get a customer goes down over time, and you're creating a library of digital assets that you own forever. Now, just to be super clear, this doesn't mean Outbound is useless. Not at all. It can actually be a really powerful supplement. Think about using some targeted ads to drive more people to that awesome blog post you wrote. The key is that it's there to support your inbound foundation, not to be the foundation. Because at the end of the day, every single marketing decision you make, whether it's an email, a social media post, or a billboard, it's telling a small piece of your brand story. So the final question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of story do you want to tell? Is it a story about interruption? Or is it a story about value, trust, and being genuinely helpful?